Okay, good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the webinar of Gamifying Education 2000, 2000 to 2000, 2000.
Sorry, Nisa, you are mute.
Sorry, the signal is okay. It's okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the webinar of Gamifying Education 2023. My sound is clear. Okay. We are thrilled to have you all here with us today. So my name is Anissa Paramaswari Aslam, and I will be your master of ceremony of this event. To the speakers and all participants, before we begin, I would like to remind you to please turn off your cell phones and turn on your camera video so we can give attention for our talent speaker for today. Okay, now I would like to introduce to our speaker for today. Please join me in welcoming to our first speaker is Erika Hanne and our next speaker is Andi CItra Pratiwi. So before we start our speaker, now let's meet our co-founder from the Flash ASEAN. Our co-founder is Mr. Ceylon, who will be the opening remarks. So Mr. Ceylon, the floor is yours. Please.
Hello everyone, can you help me? Hi, this is Silo. I'm from Myanmar, and I have been working on this fresh initiative for the last 2 years. And today we are cooperating with the money from Erika, the Learning Lab. We're going to do some international programming, and thank you everyone for joining us. And sorry about that, today we have some technical issue, but hopefully we can smooth the learning. Everybody can learn from this webinar successfully. I think we have running out of time. Maybe Erika, you can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Sai. May I request to share my screen? And may I also request the participants to mute their microphones? Thank you. Okay. So how are you this morning? So feel free to use your reaction buttons as you listen to the presentation, and feel free to engage in the chat box as well. We will have an interactive session this morning. So as I prepare my presentation, let me share my screen with everybody. Okay. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, so this morning, right, we are going to discuss the topic of gamification. So just a quick survey in the group, how many here has tried gamifying their lessons inside the classroom? So just feel free to chat. Yes, no, it's so hard. What do you think? Okay, so you see that Angelou here has not tried gamification yet. Oh, okay, so no, but have not fully applied it. Okay, so it looks like there are some people who have not tried it yet. There are some who have, and there are some who have difficulty trying and incorporating gamification in their classroom. So for this session, we are going to focus on gamifying for an engaged learning. So I guess the first question that I want to ask to everybody is, do you need technology to gamify? So again, yes or no, do you need technology to gamify your classroom? Not at all times. No. Some apps sometimes, I think, not totally. Okay, good. So we are getting, again, majority of so far in the chat say, no, you don't need. Yeah, but Monique says, tech is helpful. Yes, and indeed, technology, the role of technology is to be able to help you gamify your classroom, but it's not necessary. So, but still, right, the idea of gamification, the word gamification, really, it comes from the concept of taking game elements for engagement. So for example, when you are walking in the mall and or there's a free, for example, you have to spin the wheel to get the prize. So the idea of gamification also comes from the concepts of marketing, where you want people to be engaged and interact with your product, and you introduce these game elements. So whether it's spinning a wheel to win a prize or a lottery, but we don't necessarily need the tech tools. However, still they help to add variety to our lessons and of course to engage our students. So in this session, I've summarized the principles of gamification into three main concepts. So we have clarity, challenge, and community, and we will discuss each one briefly. So my part in this presentation also, in the spirit of gamification, do you think you can count how many coins you can find throughout this presentation? Throughout the presentation. Okay, so I hope this will keep everyone engaged during the talk. And let's see if you can count how many coins you see throughout this session. Okay, so number one, clarity. Let's go. So when we talk of clarity, it's really about making sure that your students know what they are working towards. However, your goals and your students' goals are different. Chances are your students' goals are just to be number one in the leaderboard or to get the most number of points. But guess what are your goals when you gamify? So feel free to share your opinion in the chat box again. What do you think are your goals when you gamify a lesson? Okay, so Sir John Carlo, to make the lesson fun, to engage the students, engagement, okay? Introduce the topic, okay, good. So we have varied lessons, attract, yes, that's right. Motivate, make conceptual, practice, gain interest. Yeah, so it's a lot on student engagement, right? When you gamify your lessons, however, do not forget really the heart of what you're doing would be your lesson objectives. Most of the time, we are obsessed with the idea of gamifying, finding the right tools, and then we lose track of your lesson objectives. We try to create so elaborate games that students enjoy. I have that experience one time. I designed such an enjoyable game, but when I asked this is, okay, what did you learn from the lesson? they didn't seem to remember the lesson at all. So when we try to create games and when we choose the games we play with our students, the goal for you as the teacher should be clear, which is the lesson. Although all of your answers are also correct. We gamify to make it engaging, we make it practical for them. So some goals in games are very simple, right? So we have to keep goals simple. For example, whether it's to save the princess when you play Super Mario or when you play Candy Crush, you form a straight line, okay? Goals for yourself and for your students to not lose the lesson objectives, make the goals simple. Next is mechanics. When you design your own games, a while ago, some people here stick to the traditional way of developing or gamifying their classroom. And you can do that. For example, here we have two simple board games, chess, and if this is familiar with everybody, snakes and ladders, right? If you know how to play chess, presented with a chessboard, chances are it would be easy to play, right? Everyone would immediately know what each piece would do. But if not everybody knows the power or the ability of each piece, it would take some time explaining. So when you create and choose the game that you want your students to play, is it simple enough that it is clear, instinctive, and intuitive? For example, snakes and ladders, the rules are simple. You roll the dice, and if you land on a ladder, you go up. If you land on a snake, you go down. There would be many variations of this game. And now you can begin gamifying your classroom with the simple snakes and ladders. Because the instruction, you don't take so much time in doing the instructions. So the first app, again, the tool that I want to introduce to everybody is WordWall. Now, this is a free website that you can use. And what is interesting about WordWall, it applies the first two concepts, the first concept of clarity. The instructions are simple, the instructions are clear, and you don't lose your lesson objectives with WordWall. So for example, what I like about this is the variety of games that you can play. So once you have your item bank, your test tools, most of them in multiple choice, then you can just simply click the template of the game that you want to show to your students. So either you're feeling today, oh, I want to do random wheel, or I want to let students find the missing word, or what's something very popular would be the game show quiz. So for example, it would look something like this. This would be, for example, a lesson on CVC words as I am teaching elementary students reading. I just simply click a template that I want, and it would process and show it for me. So for example, here, this is something that what you will see in your screens. And students would have to select the correct answer, and they feel like they are in a game show. And you can easily switch the template as to what you are feeling for that day. Okay, so let's try it out. Here, you can access it via QR code and you can play it by yourself. So imagine showing this in front of your class, and you can do it as a whole class activity. So let me also share this for you. So for those who won't be able to access the file or the game, here you go. I placed the link in the chat box for everybody to participate, and you can freely explore the game as well. So here, you can try it. And what I like about the game show quiz format here is it comes with its own sound effects. There you go. So definitely you can vary the time. For example, which one is jam? As I'm teaching students how to read CVC words, you can alter the time. If students are having difficulty, they can choose 50-50, which reduces the number of choices. So let's say it's B. So definitely this can be a whole class activity, or if students have their own devices, you can definitely use this as well. Okay. So it's up to you how many questions you would like to have. For example, if I choose the wrong answer, this is what would appear. Okay. So I've tried this out with some students, and it's so now you can provide corrective feedback as well. Okay. There. So you are free to explore the app, and you can create definitely your own questions. It can be for any level. And what is interesting, as I've mentioned here, is you can do and change the templates however you would like. So let's try. So now, immediately, you have a new game. Students will definitely not get bored with this one. I'm sorry. There. So in this particular game, you have to match the picture. So for example, so this is a little more challenging for a lot of for kids because they now have to sort and try to look for. Yeah, good. You've reached the bonus round. Kids really love the bonus round because they get very excited. So let's see if we can find the bonus round here. So I hope you get to enjoy and try playing the game. Of course, here there's also the time feature. So as you can see, we're not losing the objectives. It's still very clear to the students that I'm learning a lesson. So that, and you also have lives that you can change also how many lives they would get. Okay. So how did you, for those who got to try the game, let me know how was the experience? Yeah. Good. Okay, so this can be definitely good for kids. Yeah, but again, you can change eventually the questions when you develop when you create your own account. You can put in your own questions. So if you have item banks with multiple choice, it would be very easy for you to change the questions. Okay. So you can simply click create an activity and then pick the activity you want. For example, let's do quiz. And then it's very intuitive also. So for example, you have your question, you have the choices, and you can add more questions, and you can click done, and it's done. Your gamified activity would be ready. No, not necessarily, because this is it can be public for everybody. So once you finish clicking the game, it's uploaded. Like right now, I just gave you the link to the activity. It's individualized. However, one challenge for this would be monitoring. For example, it doesn't, not like other games where you can see the student logging in and joining. This is a good way for individual practice. For example, you want to give them more exercises at home. So you don't necessarily have to monitor it, or there's limited way of monitoring this, but it can be a good practice. So thank you for that question. Okay. So okay, so now we're moving on to the second principle. The second C to our 3 C's would be challenge. Are you ready for a bit of challenge this morning? Okay, feel free. Yeah, sure. Good. Okay, so just checking in. Are you guys still with me? So yeah, so when you create a challenge, okay, so solving challenges and problems really develop confidence among our students, right? And even as teachers, when you get to solve a problem, you develop the confidence. However, we have to also remember that making games that are too challenging may be counterproductive and end up being frustrating for a lot of us. Okay, well, sometimes you get stuck in a level, that you get so stuck on a level that you end up not playing the game anymore. Okay, that's one way actually to augment the feeling of games becoming too challenging is making your students feel and see that they are making progress. Okay, so, oh, sorry. So that is how you can develop your challenges. You can cut them into chunks so that the students would see and feel that they are making progress. Okay, so two ways that you can develop challenges inside your classroom is number one, simulations. Okay, simulations help your students or are a great way to present the challenge to them. So, for example, pilots would spend countless hours flying planes only through simulators. Right? Before they actually get to fly the plane, they would go through simulations. And many apps that teaches children or students biology are great ways to simulate. For example, dissection. If you cannot get, for example, of course, for example, animals, and you want to teach dissection, it might be challenging. And they will, yeah, Sir Leonard, yes, that's right. They would really enjoy the subject. And there are now apps available that simulate this experience. So I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with this app called Little Alchemy. It's available on Google Play. And what is interesting here is students get to simulate the experiment. For example, what happens when you mix earth, fire, and water? Oh, you get lava. And even without having students see lava, of course, there's nothing that would beat real experiences. But if resources are limited, this is a great alternative to that. Another option for challenges is rewards. So when you design your games for your classroom, make sure that the reward system is very clear as well. Right? This is Classcraft. It's a good way. It's a good tool to use when you want to engage your students throughout the school year. Okay. What happens here is students create their own character. And when they, for example, show good behavior, they get good results, you can reward them with HP points or life. And then they can use the money to upgrade their characters. Yeah, students are very reward driven. Of course, we want to mitigate and control this kind of mindset as well. But Classcraft is a good way to engage the entire class. So to up our game of challenge, we have GimKit. What I like about GimKit, similar to WordWall, is it's so easy to manipulate the game that students would play. Okay, so sharing again with everybody, GimKit. So prepare your devices that you'll be using. So once you create your own GimKit account, you can start creating your quiz. Similar again, most of the quizzes here are, so for example, you can add a question. You can ask your question, multiple choice. And then just click add. You can put a photo, an audio, or even an equation. Okay. Now let's try playing the game. So all done. And then we can play live. So as you can see in my screen right now for GimKit, this is a pro account. You have 14 days free trial of a pro account. So maybe you just want a time when you want to use it if you don't want to pay for a pro account. But here, it provides challenge, a layer of challenge to the learning. So definitely kids would enjoy the graphics of this particular game. So we have, for example, Snowball. So using again the questions, it already changes the game format for you immediately in just a click of a button. So why don't we try this game, Snowball? So what the aim of the game is simple. You have to defeat your opponents. you by attacking them with snowballs. But when you run out of snowballs, you have to answer the question, which again is related to the lesson. So let's try. So maybe we can set just a quickly so we don't run out of time. Maybe just 5 minutes for our game. It's a free for all. So you either you want to do 2 teams or you want every man for himself. And then if you want to use a nickname generator, go ahead. And then players can join in late. Okay, so it's a quick game and it's exciting. So there are other formats that you can choose from as well. So now, as you can see my screen, you can, for a while. So loading, this might take a while. Okay, great. So now you can join the game. Enter using the GameKit join enter code. So if you are ready, you can join. Good. So there's red cookie. The link is, let me send it to everybody. GameKit. I'm sorry. GameKit.com/join. But you do have to enter the code, which is 631297. Okay, so hi, red cookie. There, so I'm seeing a lot of players joining in. Yeah, let's see if this game is as intuitive. Our ages might be revealed. Kids would definitely find this intuitive enough. Okay, so simple, just aim, just click on the player you want to attack. If you're using your mobile phones or a touch screen, you just, yeah, there. So some people are moving around already. You can feel free to move around to explore it. And then if you tap a player, for example, later on, your attack button, the snow cone. And then, well, we can start the game now. So we have a few players there. Okay, so you are now supposedly separate from one another. I am using a laptop, so I am using my arrow keys. There. So I am using my arrow keys, and then when you want to attack, there. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm there. Yeah, there. So I see someone trying to shoot another character. Go ahead. There, when you click snowball launcher. So for example, there. So you lose lives and you try to escape. And if you do run out of lives, you want to click refill. There. If you want, go ahead and try to answer a question. So I'm just removing all my snow cones so you can see. Okay. I hope someone got to try. There, so if you click the home button, you click answer questions. And then now, once you get a correct answer, you get 2 additional snowballs. So if it's incorrect, so again, you can provide feedback. What is the correct answer? So you get 7 snowballs. So close so you can answer as many additional questions you like. So I now have 14, so I can go again, go back. And you start attacking again. So the faster you are, there. So you get knocked out by the players. And you get extra lives. Okay.
35,000 ito. Itinabayan lang. Sabutan. Pag tinuang dahil. Suntok ka nga nila papabayan sa gulit.
There. So again. There. Okay. So of course, here now, it would be great like if you have 100 players and everyone's playing all at the same time. That would be very interesting for the class. And again, just like word wall, you can change the format of the game. So there are a lot of games that you can explore and try out. And this would be great if they have their own devices though. So word wall is great when you don't have a lot of devices and you just flash it on the screen. But here, it would be better if all of them have their own devices. So it's a different experience when you play mobile and when you play on a laptop or computer. Okay, great. So how was so I'll just end the game so I have one more to show you guys in a bit. Okay, so what is interesting here, as you can see, there would be your leaderboards. How many got knocked out, how many questions were answered correctly, questions answered correctly as an entire class. So there. Okay. So how was that gaming experience? Yeah, it's great because you can definitely monitor your students. Anything, any insights from that experience with GimKit? Congratulations. Okay, so last one. I don't know if you still remember. What do you think was the last C? So we have, at this point, we had clarity, challenge, and the last C. What do you think is the last C, if you still remember? Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, that's right. So it's community, just like what you did a while ago, right? Most players, or rather most games, are played with more than one person. For example, even board games, chess, popular games like Mobile Legends, Valorant are often played in teams. So there is really a great emphasis on collaboration when you design your games for your class. However, even if the game is meant only for one player, just like what we did with GimKit a while ago, where I didn't split you into teams, there's still a sense of community. When you get to see, oh, I'm the #1 in the leaderboard, or you would join these forums in Facebook or in Instagram and our communities that talk about the game, where you get tips, tricks, and hints on how to play the game. So for the last game tool that I would show you, so it is interesting because it integrates the idea of collaboration and competition. So when we talk of collaboration, it's really teamwork and getting forming a team to create an output. And then competition is, of course, trying to defeat one another. And that's the beauty of games. So the last application or tool that I will show with everybody is Rolljack. If you are familiar, who here is familiar with Mentimeter? Maybe you've seen it in a webinar somewhere, or you've used it before. Just a quick survey on who has experienced using Mentimeter. I think it's a more popular. Oh, okay. So for some, it's also new. Yeah. Mentimeter is an interactive presentation where you use your slides and you ask feedback from the audience, and they can either ask a question. Okay, good. So it's a little bit familiar to some. So Rolljack is actually quite similar to Mentimeter in the sense that you create a presentation. You create a PowerPoint presentation, a slide presentation for your students, but then you ask questions and you get feedback from them real time, and you can show the responses on your screen. So with Rolljack, what is interesting for engagement here is that there are various activity types that you can use also, from polling to open-ended questions to quizzes. But what is interesting here would be, for example, unscrambling words. You also have multiple choice. You also have auto-scoring quizzes, some things that are not usually used in most presentation apps. You have, but what is interesting is the collaboration feature. So the activity types are often very much competition-based or competition-driven. Like you answer the question, you get a point, you win. But here with RollJack, you can use it to collaborate with one another. Sorry, okay, there, like working together to develop a product. So let's dive right into RollJack. So this is what you will see. Again, I'm on free trial, but you can definitely pay for a pro account if it's something that you find useful. So as you can see here, we have, I created a game. Similarly, you can, again, very similar and very intuitive in terms of how you can input your questions. So let's play there again. So you have the QR code. I'll share the link in the chat box for everybody. And so feel free to join in this game. If you don't get to join in, it's okay. You can view it from my screen. Good. Okay. So there are currently like 44 in the Zoom call right now. So if yeah, it comes, the audio background comes with the game, the tool. So it's the pre-made audio feature. Okay, I think we have okay, so feel free to join in a bit. I'll give you some more time. Okay, we're doing it very fast-paced. Okay, good. Yeah, the code, this is the code link. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. There. So this is what it would look like. Yeah, just so it's interesting, right? When you're in the waiting room, students would have something to do when you are in the waiting room. Okay, so I think we have a few players, 22 players. So if no one's would be joining in anymore, we can start. Give you a minute to join some more. And then so it gives you a lot of time to do things. You can draw. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can start. Okay, so okay, so here, this is just a quick activity just to show you what would happen. So go ahead, which country would you like to visit? This is a poll type of question, right? Poll, so you just see, and it's live. Which country would you like to visit? So it's a quick poll. Good. So you can do it live, and you can, it's very interactive, and students, you get to see your students react to each type of question. So this is just, I'm just showing a variety of questions. Okay, so you can also set the time, by the way. There. So all the music, if you're interested in the music, it's all pre-made already. Don't have to change anything with the music other than the volume. There. So If you want to, for example, do a survey in class in the middle of your presentation, you can ask them to answer this. Next. There. Okay. Next activity. Next activity, this time, it's an open-ended response. So why don't you guys try and type your answer to this specific question? So can you describe a cultural practice or tradition that you've experienced or heard in Southeast Asia? What did you find fascinating about it? Just quickly, just share to the group, given that we have participants across Southeast Asia this morning. So again, you can see live submissions. Doesn't have to be long, just so we can get some. Okay, good. Yes, the question should be posted. You're supposed to see it on your screens right now, or even in the upper right corner, you can see question there. So you can click that and then you can see the question. But you can also show it on you can also see it in my screen. There. So here are some of the questions. Good. Yes. So definitely you can adjust the time. People can join in at any time also in the presentation. So get problems with maybe internet connectivity, so they can join. The mobile, the link that you usually get is really just for answering. So what is interesting is students will still have to focus on you, just like other gaming applications. So I'm just showing you guys like different kinds of tools that Rolljack would have that you may use. So here specifically, you have to sketch your favorite Southeast Asian dish, like main ingredients, utensils, or even serving styles. Okay, yeah, so we have, is that like fishball? Yeah, so definitely kids would enjoy this when they, you ask them to draw. This is great for really large groups. You get a variety of answers. Okay, so for the interest of time, we'll just move forward also. Okay. Okay. There. So you have a variety of games here, pictures. So you can ask them to draw. Okay, so you also have still the leaderboard. Okay, this one is unscramble. Form the correct answer. Which two popular Southeast Asian dishes are made from rice? Now, let's see if you can get your answers. Let's see. Sushi. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. Sadly, yeah, the correct answers are nasi goreng and pad thai. Okay, so the question is Southeast Asian. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Sushi is Japanese. Okay, and this one, you can even ask your students to take pictures. Upload, whether it's taking a picture or uploading a picture. So just finding a picture online, screenshot, and send it in. You can do that. This activity might take long, but so we can just skip this particular activity, but that's the idea. You can take a picture and then ask them to, oh, look, we have some answers. Let's see. Oh, no, it disappeared. Okay, so we'll skip this activity. There. So this one, start next activity, the adapter. Okay, so this one is the collaboration feature. So for example, design a shopping bag for a school teacher. So, okay, so the task is for you to design a shopping bag for a school teacher. So I hope we can get some just quick answers, and you will notice the collaboration feature here is after the submissions, you will each get like 1,000 points, and you will get to vote for 3 best shopping bags designs by giving them the points, or it's like the money in this particular. So the top 3 or the top 1 design is the one voted by everybody, or gets the most number of points, and you can bid like it's 1,000 points or 50 points only for this. So it's a great way to collaborate with a lot of people. Okay. The time you can definitely adjust. I just made it quick today for our activity, just so that we can maximize the time. So collaborate to make this better. Collaborate on a peer's response. Okay, so for examples, there would be a prompt on your screen. Oh, so now you can either vote, you can work on it, you can add on it. Yeah, good. Either you want to add a design, you can upvote. Okay, good. See? So as you can see, even if you don't know each other, you're already collaborating with one another. Adding to the design, making adjustments, making corrections, voting for it. Okay, yeah. Good. Great. Okay, so as you can see, so that's the whole concept. I made it into three times, so we can again just skip this for this activity, and then let's start with the next activity. Just the last one, another open-ended response. So what are some of the things you learned today that you'll apply in your classroom? Just quickly, just to get a check of understanding. Okay, yeah, it was fun again. Good. Great. See, so real time, you get to see student responses. Which makes this really great. You may want to explore Mentimeter as well. Mentimeter. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that game as well. Okay. Okay, so just to summarize the 3 key principles: for 1, clarity, challenge, and community. So 3 C's when you want to gamify your classroom. So before we wrap up, how many coins did you find throughout the presentation? Oh, I think, yeah. Okay, 5. Yeah, 11. Good. Crystal and Tolentino, 11. How many? 100. Okay. Yeah, so it's actually 14. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the first session today. And I'll be turning the floor over to CItra. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Thank you so much, Miss Erika, for an excellent presentation. We will to our next speaker, Miss Andi Citra Pratiwi. So Miss Andi Citra Pratiwi will now take the stage. Please give her a warm welcome. So Miss Citra, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much. Let me share my screen first. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, and good morning, everyone. It's such an honor for me to joining here as one of the speaker. And that was an awesome presentation from Erika. Thank you very much. And now I will continue our discussion regarding gamified assessment tool, and I will talk about quizzes, Kahoot, and wait a moment, Rookit. Anyone already familiar with quizzes, Kahoot, and Rookit? Please share your experiences in the chat room so I know. Okay, some already familiar with quizzes and Kahoot, some only Kahoot. Mr. Christian, not familiar with Lookit. Okay. Yeah, based on the registration form that we received, many of the participants already familiar with Lookit, and I agree because Lookit is one of the most popular gamified assessment tool that we already know, and most of them, they don't really know about Lookit. Kahoot is like 50-50, some familiar and some not familiar. And the first question that we want to answer is, why is it important for teacher to gamify their assessment? But before this, I want you to scan this and give your opinion about your challenge as a teacher in terms of assessment. Because as a teacher, of course, we always need to do assessment to assess our students about their progress, the concept they already know, and the concept they are difficult to understand. And that's why we need assessment. You need the link. Okay, wait a moment. I will share the link. Okay, I'm sharing the link at this one. So I'm actually using Mentimeter. Erika just mentioned about it. Okay, I will see how many people already joined the Mentimeter. So using the Mentimeter, and I'm using now a word cloud. So for the word cloud, the more people input the same word, so the word will be bigger compared to others. You can just directly click the link at Menti, the one that I shared. Maybe we will wait around 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. Miss Angelou already submit. Here results. All right. So many people. Okay, let me reshare. Okay, so here is the challenge that we are facing as a teacher in terms of assessment. Familiarity with applications, differentiation, engaging, validity, boring, cooperation, attentiveness. That's the keywords that many people put. Engaging. So how to make the assessment more engaging, and regarding the validity of the test and how to differentiate the assessment that we have, and how to make students be able to remember the lesson better. Okay, thank you very much for all the answers. And the next question is about the tools. Maybe you can move to the next question. The tools that you usually use for assessment, like either okay, Google Form, Kahoot, okay, pen and paper test. All right. Thank you very much for those who already submit their answer. So as we can see here, Google Form has been used by most of us. And after Google Form, it is pen and paper test. And after that, there are Kahoot. Okay, Kahoot also quite familiar. All right, thank you very much. And in terms of assessment, Google Form has been really familiar among teachers, particularly during the pandemic. But the thing is, the use of Google Form is quite serious. There are no, how to say, we can't say that it is the type of gamified assessment. So how to make students engage in an assessment in a way that can make them feel enjoyable and willing to do the assessment more and more. That's the function of gamification. So all right, so here is the benefits of using gamified assessment tool for students. We can improve their engagement. They can also use the assessment tools to do independent learning if we set it so, and it can be fun and interesting for them. Okay, wait a moment. So here is the first quiz. There are 3 quizzes. There are 3 types of gamified assessment tool that we will discuss today. I know some of you already familiar with one of these, but we will still try. So now please start with quizzes. Can you scan? Is it easy for you to scan this, or should I share the link?
Yes, it's
Okay. Okay, I will share the link then. All right, here you go. So wait a moment. I need to stop share first. Okay, so for using quizzes, there are 2 modes that we can use. The first is live quiz. And for the live quiz, we can also set with teacher-paced and classic mode. For classic mode, students can go with their own pace. And for the teacher, the other one, teacher can control. So students can work on the same question based on the teacher's control. Okay, it's already 19 people here. We will wait maybe around 1 minute more. And besides live quizzes, we can also set a homework assignment for students. And for free quizzes account, we can set until 2 weeks. So it's actually depend on the teachers for the deadline of the quiz on quizzes, whether we want to make it long or short. But for me, if I want it to give to students as media for learning, for them to exercise on answering the question, I will give a longer time. But for the serious one, I will give it a short deadline. And as you can see here, you can give how to say emotion. All right. It's 22. Anyone still joining? Okay, I think it's now we can go now, right? All right. Let's start. All right. All right. So as you can see here, the live quizzes, we can see the leaderboard. So you can share to your students who got the first position. And the thing here, in the real class, sometimes some students can answer the question really fast while the others really slow. So to control the time allocation, you can decide how many minutes you want the live quiz last. And for instance, 15 minutes. And if some student can finish the quiz faster, you can allow them to retake the quiz, but they need to use a slightly different name. So we know which one is the first try, which one is the second try. I usually do like that to make the students keep busy, because like the smart one can finish very fast and will get bored during the live quizzes if one student if the other students quite slow in answering the live quizzes. And the thing about quizzes, we can see personal achievement, like how many person they can answer correctly. Also the type of question that mostly answered correct and wrong by the students. So we can say that, all right, the concept 1, we finish with that, and concept 9 and 8, we still need to do more explanation for that, something like that. So there are actually 3 colors: green and orange and red. Green means most students can answer it correctly. Orange means 50-50, and red means most students still answer the concept wrongly. So we need to really pay attention to the red color. All right. Okay, so that's for quizzes. So now we will move. Oh, so here is an example of result. So I give this as an assignment. So students can do the quizzes at their own pace, at their own time, and they can do it even more than one, because I allow it. It depends on the teachers, whether the teacher allow one attempt, multiple attempt, 1, 2, and 3. We can arrange that. All right. And for the next is, wait a moment, we will move to Blue Kit. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Room, Mr. Christian. Thank you. So now we will move to the Kahoot. You already get the experience in using quizzes just now. And now we will compare it with Kahoot. So please scan the barcode, or you can go to kahoot.it and give the PIN 3572436. We are waiting for the participants. All right, if you can share the QR code, scan the QR code. Okay, for the link, please wait a moment. Yeah, the QR code is on the screen.
Oh, hi,
Okay,
CItra. Sorry,
I
you're
guess I need to
showing.
reshare.
Yeah.
Wait a moment. All right. So here is the link. Okay. And so here is the QR code. For those who want to scan the QR code or who wants to join through the link. So for Kahoot is a bit different with quizzes. For quizzes, you can see the question in your device. And on the leaderboard for live one, we can see the leaderboard on the screen together. And but for the Kahoot, the default one, students can see the option on their device, and teachers can share one screen for the students to see the question. However, it can also be set. We can set to make it available for the students in their device for the question. But the default one, students can't see the question, only the option. So if you want students to see the question on their device, you need to do the setting up. All right, now we have all right, we will start in 1 minute. So for those who wants to join, please hurry up. All right. 17. All right, let's start. Where is that? Okay, one more. Miss Hanne, just join us. Anyone else wants to join? Okay. Let's start. So the quiz is still about ASEAN countries. Okay, so some of you already got the correct answer. Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia. So next, Okay, congratulations, Miss Hanne. So we can see here the leaderboard for each question. And we can set the timer also. The timer is based on the complexity of the question. Teacher can decide how many seconds for each question. Okay. So let's see who is at the top. Okay, Mr. Tal. We have 10 questions to go. Okay. How many ASEAN countries? We have new member. If I'm not mistaken, it is last year. In 2022, we have new member. So we are now 11. All right. So the score should be correct and also pass. So if you have a correct answer and you can answer it very fast, faster than the others, then you will get a higher score compared to the other participants. All right. Oh, I just clicked that. So for the Kahoot, besides quiz, we can also put slide. So the thing that I just skipped mistakenly. So you can mix your presentation between question and slide. So it's a bit different with quizzes. For quizzes, you can't mix that. You can choose whether you want to deliver a slide for lesson or a question for quiz. One flag belongs to Poland, the other is Indonesia. So which one is Poland? And which one is Indonesia? All right, the correct one is white and red because the red and white is belong to Indonesia. Yes, that's the one that I explained just now because just now I skipped a slide. It should be presented, but I mistakenly skipped that slide. That's why I said in Kahoot, when we create a quiz, it can have slides, not for question, and we can have a question. It's not possible. Is it possible that the question and the choice are in one slide or page? No, because for each time you add, you will choose whether you want to add a question or a slide. So in the left hand side, we can see the timer, and in the right hand side, we can see how many people already answered. So now 12, 13, the time is nearly up. Okay, some people don't answer. Okay, so it's 11. Next, do we still have another? Okay, the scoreboard. It is a scoreboard for each. Okay, and I guess we have 2 more questions. Is Thailand an ASEAN member? Okay, come on. All right, all are correct. Next, the last one. Oh, it is 10 out of 10. Yeah. Is Thailand celebrate Songkran? Is your country celebrate Songkran? No, the answer is yes. Thai celebrate Songkran. Which other ASEAN countries that celebrate Songkran? Is it celebrated in Myanmar as well? I want to know if anyone from Myanmar here. So that's for Kahoot. So we can see the leaderboard for each question, and also at the end we can see the top 3 and also the runner-up. Okay, so here is, this one is based on how many answers you got correct, and also your speed in answering the question. All right, so we have one more. This one is Blue Kit. Oh, for the result, wait a moment. So here you can also see the reports. So you can see personal and overall. It's similar with quizzes. So you have an insight on which concept you want to explain more for your students, and which students you want to help more for that. Now we have Blue Kit. So for this Blue Kit, you can play it in a solo mode or in team mode. It is similar with Kahoot. Kahoot also, you can choose to deliver a solo quiz in which students need to answer personally. And also another mode is team. So the student can play the quiz in a team mode, but for free account, they will play that in the shared tools. But for upgrade Kahoot, they can play team in their own device. Blue Kit is quite fun, in my opinion. I choose one type of game for this Blue Kit, and I choose battle and team. So you will play in a team in your own device. Okay, anyone already joined? The code is not found. All right, let me reshare the code. Wait a moment. Okay, I'm all right. Maybe because I created it like some hour ago. Let me reshare a new. So So here is the game mode. Blue Kit have various games, the mode that we can choose for each question that we already have. Let's get this royal battle. And so you will play in a team. This one. So this one I can, just as I say before, we can play solo or team. Let's choose team and let's see. You will start with 5 energy. So every time you are defeated, you will lose 1 energy. And to win, you need to answer the question correctly. That's the first one. It should be correct. And if your enemy also get the correct answer, the winner will be the one who can answer faster. So be correct and be fast. Can you try it again? I will copy the link. All right, 16. Okay, one thing about Blue Kit is the type of question that we can input is multiple choice. It's different with this that we can choose other than multiple choice, right? But for Blue Kit, it only for multiple choice. However, there are various types of game that we can choose. And it can also for solo and okay, and for team. We will start. Yes. Your internet connection should be stable to play the game, because you will compete not only with the correctness but the time also. You need to be fast. All right, let's start. 1, 2, 3, and go. So here is the team as your teammate. We can also do shuffle, but the shuffle is also done randomly. All right. So for each round of question, you will be competed with. You will compete with random enemy, but the thing is you need to answer fast and correct. All right, 70% correct. So that was low. Okay. So someone already lost their energy. The next question will start soon. Oh, that's 89%. All right. Really Rhino still have 4 energy. Happy Hatcher is still 5. Good. Oh, the pack as well, still 5. Next, which country's flag is this? All right, the answer is Vietnam, and there are 63% who answered correctly. Let's see who still have Happy Hatcher, still have 5. All right. Okay, 63% as well. So Indonesian capital city is Jakarta. Yeah, some people may already lost their energy. So if you finish, you don't have any more energy, you can't continue answering the question. So those who still have energy can still continue answering the question. Okay, that's Malaysian flag, 58%. Wow, Happy Hatcher. No, you lost your energy. All right, 84%. Correct, means that some people lost or didn't answer. Oh, only 5% correct. So this type of game usually students with younger age, they usually like it. For my students who are in high school, if I make them choose the type of quiz that they want, whether it is quizzes or blue kit, they usually choose blue kit. Because here you can really compete with others, and if you got a higher score, you can also make other competitor lost their score. So some students feel it is fun because they really compete with their friends. All right. Okay. Yeah. It's so sad that Miss Maria couldn't have a stable connectivity in the school. That's the thing about technology. For this online quizzes, Kahoot and Bluekit, it is fun, but the thing is we really need a stable connectivity for the quiz to run smoothly. Okay. Oh, wait. From Hanne. So this blue kit will continue until we got a winner. Coaching from behind. Mr. Jennifer is coaching from behind. So if we have less question, but the round is still continue, the question will be repeated. So sometimes the students will get the same question if the round is continue. So the thing is they will know the answer, but they still need to compete for which one is the fastest. Okay, now we have the winner here, Happy Hatcher with oh no, it's still continue, right? Oh no, okay, it's finished. Happy Hatcher is the winner. Congratulations. All right, so you now have the experience on how quizzes, Kahoot, and Bluekit can be delivered to your students and how is it different with each other. Of course, in choosing the type of quiz that we will deliver to students, it depends on our intention. If you want the serious one, okay, you can use the Google form that you usually use, right? But if you want to break the ice and you want to engage the students more, you can choose one of these type of quiz. And another thing for Bluekit, we can only see the general overview of the class achievement, like 90%, something like that. It's not to see the personal achievement. But for quizzes and Kahoot, you can see the personal achievement and the analysis for each student and also for the whole class and also for the question. All right, that's all from me. Wait a moment. So as last assertion, I would say that technology is important for students. Although technology can't replace teachers, with the right choice of technology, teachers can utilize technology to transform education and to deliver a more fun and engaging activities for students. Thank you very much. I give it back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Andi Citra Pratiwi, for an excellent presentation. So now let's begin to start a discussion from our participant. Please, any question for Miss Erika and Miss Andi Citra?
All right. So while waiting for your question, I will remind everyone to fill in the attendance list. The committee will share the attendance list. So please fill the attendance list also regarding your experiences during the webinar. Okay, there are questions from Miss Jennifer. Are all applications used in gamification discussion needs an internet connectivity? Okay, maybe Miss Erika can give answer first.
Well, for the ones that I shared, yes, they do need internet connectivity, but I think I've mentioned it. You can still do gamification even without technology. Like, for example, maybe creating your own board game in class. And there but there are also like the hi-fi or the lo-fi. Some people would discuss it in that way. When you say hi-fi, these are the high fidelity tools that require a larger bandwidth. But then for lo-fi, you don't need that large of a bandwidth. So for example, I wasn't able to share it with the group today, but I actually asked my students to make their own game through Google Forms. So I'm sure most of you here are familiar with Google Forms. So what the students did is whenever you select a question, it would lead to a different outcome. So because of that, they created their own game. So that's a little bit lo-fi activity, but it does still need internet connection. But again, you can't do gamification even without internet connectivity. So yeah, thank you. CItra? Sorry, you're on mute.
Thank you, Erika, for your answer. And for the applications that I share also need connectivity. And then I agree with Erika. If you want to implement gamification in your teaching, actually you can do it without technology, but technology helps to make it easier to implement it. But of course, you can implement gamification without technology. The thing is, you just need to incorporate the parts of games into your teaching, whether it is the rewards, the leaderboards, or other elements of game that makes the students enjoy during the teaching and learning process. And let's see another questions. Can I use the full features of Kahoot, Blookit, and quizzes without subscribing? The answer is no. So, but every Kahoot, Blookit, and quizzes, each of them give a certain features that we can use. And for me, it is enough. It is enough for small class because my class is usually 30 to 40 students. And these types of application, they can be accessed at the same time for up to 50 students. For BlueKit, it can be 60. Of course, it differs with each other. But for paid one, you can host up to 100 and even more. And also, it is different with the type of question. For quizzes, for the free one, you can only give multiple choice and short answer. And the other types of question, they still have polling and open-ended and other types of question, but you need to pay a certain amount of money. But for me, it's enough using the free one. All right, I give it back to the moderator, whether we still have time. Maybe you can choose some question.
Okay, thank you, Miss CItra. So next question, are these apps for free and can we download the free files that we already modified?
There are again, there are some free features. For those that I've shared, where all of them do have some free features like 14-day trial, so you can try it. I think I'd like to connect that with the one question from Stroem. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Your question is, do you think we should invest in such subscription? I think it depends on a lot of things. Like, number one, does it make your work easier? I think that's ultimately the question and really the purpose of tools and technology. If you think it would make your work easier throughout the rest of the year and not just use it one time, then I think it would be a good investment to subscribe. But if you think that, oh, you're just going to be using it one time and students would definitely get bored from it, then you may just want to explore a free version of the app.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Erika, for answering. So next question, maybe from Christian Joshua. How is gamification different from game-based learning? Maybe to Miss CItra or Miss Erika?
All right, thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. And yes, usually people use the terms interchangeably, like, okay, you can use the gamification or game-based education terms, but based on the literature, if we really want to differentiate between the two, the basic difference is that for game-based education, we learn through game. So, for instance, we deliver a game for the students, and through that game, the students learn something. For instance, one game, and through that game, the students learn about the skills, cooperation, for instance. But if we say gamification means incorporating the elements of game into an activity which is not a game. So it is different. For game-based education, we really use the game. But for gamification, we only use the elements of game and incorporating that element into an activity which is not a game. So for instance, that's why gamification is quite popular in education, because education activity is not a game thing, right? But we want to make it fun. So the aim of gamification is to make something, a serious activity, to feel like a game, to get a fun experience during that activity. That's why we adopt gamification into the education setting. Thank you very much. That's very interesting question. Maybe Miss Erika wants to give some addition.
Yeah, I totally agree with CItra. You can differentiate gamification and game-based learning. For example, when you download some apps online or from the Play Store, for example, it's an app, let's say it's a math game app where when students enter, they will answer some questions on math, they will earn points. So that's game-based learning. The platform is a game and they learn solely for that purpose. They play the game to learn. And I agree, gamification is using the elements of the game into the non-gaming context. So for example, Kahoot is considered gamification because you input the questions. It can vary from English, math, science, and you gamify, you turn it into a game. As opposed to game-based learning, the game already exists with learning in mind. It's a lot like when you watch educational shows. So that's the idea of game-based. Thank you. Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for Miss CItra and for Miss Erika. So maybe the last question. Maybe this is from Sroem. Do you think with teachers should invest in such subscription for gamification apps?
All right. So wants to be the first? Maybe I will answer first. All right. For my personal experience, yes. Because it can save your time. For instance, let's say between Lookit, Kahoot, and Quizzes, I usually use Quizzes. So I feel that it saves my time to deliver an assessment, a formative assessment to students. And I can right away see like which student still needs support from me based on their achievement, and which concept I still need to give more explanation. If we compare with the paper and pencil test, because I usually spend more time to analyze the result, to look at the paper one by one, to check it. So it takes time for me to give feedback for the students. While if I use quizzes in the classroom, I can give the explanation right away. And for me, it's more effective. And also, besides that, it's also fun for students. So that's for my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Erika.
Yeah, I think that was a very interesting point, what CItra mentioned on the assessment. And we spend so much time analyzing the results, but here at least it's just one click of a button. You get to make generalizations and really focus on the remediation part. So I think I've answered the question a while ago. Like, I think it really depends on your purpose. If your purpose is for the assessment and it makes your work easier, then yes, go ahead. If not, you may want to explore the the free versions first. I think there was one question that will the app be interactive even if students are next to each other? I think yes. Yeah. Even if the students are right next to each other, it's actually very interactive. Based on observation anyway, students tend to be focused in their own world when they're playing the game. I'm sure you have seen children playing with their mobile phones or games, and even though they're all huddled together, they seem to be in their own world, in the sense that the world is the game. So the interaction happens in the game. which we think it doesn't happen, because when we see it from an outsider's perspective, they seem like they're all individually working on it, but inside the world, inside the game, they're actually competing and interacting with one another. So yeah, in a way, the interaction is shifted to the game, inside the game. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you again for Miss Erika and Miss CItra for answering this question and for the great presentation. So before we end the webinar, we take a photo together with the participants. Okay, wait a moment.
Okay, so please everyone turn off your camera so we can take photo together.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, it was a pleasure to have you with us. So I think this concludes the webinar. Thank you for attending and for the speaker. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this presentation. And thank you so much for the co-founder for the Flash ASEAN for okay, thank you so much for everyone.
All right, thank you everyone,
Have a
and
nice day.
okay, and we actually have the how to say this, the module that you can utilize if you want to learn more about it, and we will upload it soon on our website, so you can have a look at flashasean.org. Mr. Cylon will share to you through email. And also we want to thank you to Mr. Erika, the Learning Lab Manila, for such an incredible collaboration today. Thank you very much everyone for attending.
Yeah,
Greetings
last
from
one.
Indonesia.
Okay, last one. Some participants asked for the e-certificate. Yes, we will prepare the e-certificates for everyone who joined in today, and we also will do some assessment that you have learned, how much you have learned so much today, and we will also some new letters, and like if there's any new section or anything interesting application, or maybe not only like this kind of gamification app. If you want to learn something more, you can also email us so we can do some special training for you guys, because I know maybe some possibility want to learn maybe academic writing, or some do using AI to write many stuff. Yeah, we can provide a kind of special session for you guys. Yeah, I will send an email to you guys end of the day or tomorrow morning. Okay.